in some ways, the individuals that fall into that, it's not entirely their fault, because they have a culture and there's others around them, and it just kind of, they fall into it. It's modeled for them. They see it. And they don't dig deep enough into their understanding and look at what Jesus was really saying and what he was doing. You look at even when Jesus started his ministry, what is the thing he would tell people when he'd heal them and things like that, and he was providing, he'd be like, don't tell anybody. He's like, don't tell anybody. And then people would go and tell other people, and then they would all be colored around him. And his ministry was limited because people got to know who he was. You know what? Well, he's the Christ. He's the Messiah. Yeah, people need to know. But it would limit him. He wasn't able to be as effective at times because of that. The other time he wasn't able to be as effective was when he was in his hometown, because people doubted him because they knew him for who he used to be.
Amen. Amen. That's a big one.
And that limited it. So knowing who he used to be could limit it. Our lives, it can limit it. There's people that know who we used to be, still think of us as that person, limits what we can do. And then knowing who he was limited it at times, because people were just going to get what they could. Remember, like the 5,000, he feeds them, then everybody's there trying to get food from him and trying to take from him and stuff. And, he's like, yeah, eat my body, drink my blood, it's just, and it happens in our lives too. So the more we can move in power, because we're powerful people, as it was in the days of Noah, it's going to be at the time of the coming of the Son of Man, people eating, drinking, giving in marriage, that stuff. There's another thing that was happening at the time of Noah. Remember the sons of God would go to the daughters of man, and there were giants in the land, and there were some of the great heroes of old, had lots of reputation. And later we see individuals like Goliath, the giant, and things like that. There were giants in the land, powerful people, heroes, stories written about. Some of the mythology we have is probably based on some of those individuals and stuff. Well, there's giants in the land now. Yeah. But instead of it being these physical giants that were there in the old time, before the flood, now we have spiritual giants in the land. Yes, and there are huge, powerful individuals walking the earth today. Teo is one of them. Just giants that are there. And we can be a part of what God's doing in their lives. And we ourselves, as we move in the Spirit, supernatural beings, all these superhero movies and all this stuff that's big in our culture today, we are superhuman. Because of our relationship with God, we can do things that other people have no opportunity to do as we're functioning in God's will and as we are doing it according to what He's wanting to do.
Yes, He does.
Amen.